What is up there everyone, it's the Gardener Gamertag here, and today I wanted to talk about free DLC because this is a gaming practice I really want to commend, but also I want to offer some improvements that can be made to it. Now free DLC in my opinion is awesome. I like getting free stuff for the games that I play. It's really nice that the developers will give us this stuff to say, hey, thanks for playing our game, and it really does mean a lot, and for me it can actually refresh a game. I probably never would have gone back to play Battlefield Hardline if it weren't for the fact that they were giving us free guns and eventually free maps. For me, this actually gives me more reason to go back to the game. I recently found out there was a new DLC that was launched. I don't buy the DLC, but I realised there were going to be free guns in this DLC because that's how the developers have been dealing with the DLCs. They give everyone free guns, but then they also give some just to the premium players and to the people that bought the map. And so I go back to the game and I start playing it. Now, I started using this M11015 battle rifle that came out actually with the last free DLC where they gave us the night maps, which are actually pretty cool. They aren't anything amazing, but they're quite a nice addition, and I do like having the new maps to play on. But this battle rifle is so weird. It's got one of the most unusual characteristics I've ever had, because all the other battle rifles, they're really accurate, high damage, high recoil. This one is, I can't really tell if it's particularly accurate. What I'm going to say is it's unbelievably high recoil, good damage, and very good hip fire, which seems almost random that it's got this one attribute. So I actually found myself, until I finally unlocked the foregrips, just running around hip firing people because it was the best way I could get kills with it, because the first shot recoil is unbelievable. I reckon if you did the maths on it, the speed the bullet would have to be travelling would have to be like over 1,000 meters per second or something. It was absolutely insane how high the recoil is, but I just had fun. And guess what, I found out there was an assignment, a community assignment, that you had to get 50 kills with the gun between a certain period of time and you'd get 200,000 in-game credits. I thought, you know what, I'm going to grind it out, get those 50 kills. I ended up going on to get 90 kills so I can unlock the foregrip for this thing, because it's actually a hell of a lot better when you get a foregrip for it. And I actually had a lot of fun, and I probably never would have done any of this if the game hadn't had free content given to it. I would have had no reason to go back to it, because unfortunately the game suffered from an identity crisis, and ultimately the lack of a theme was what kept me not playing the game, because I didn't really have any particular desire to play it. Because when I want to go and play a game, there's a specific thing, like a thought or just maybe a play in my head that I thought, yeah, that'd be amazing if I could do that. But I never quite had that with Hardline, because it was just sort of like, yeah, I don't really know what the game's about, I can't really connect with the game, so I never really had any urges to go and play it and try and do these amazing things in the game. And what's more with Battlefield 4 as well, the game has been out for 3 years now, and the extra free content is what's keeping it fresh. There's even more free content on the way, which is why I'm still interested in Battlefield 4, and I do still go back to it every now and then. However, there's one problem that I've had, especially with the Battlefield 4 and also Star Wars Battlefront free DLC, is that it's almost never in map rotations. You go into a normal DICE server on Battlefield and it's always the standard maps. They never have the community map, Dragon Valley or night operations, and it's just annoying because I would like to play it. It'd be really fun to be able to have these in the rotation and go through them. And unfortunately, I haven't found any player-owned servers that have them in the rotation. You either have to play just the one map or just the vanilla maps if you don't have premium, and it's just kind of disappointing. Whereas Hardline, what they did, they actually put the maps in with the patch, so everyone got the maps automatically downloaded. And I thought this was a really good feature because it meant that in all the DICE owned servers you could instantly put those maps into rotation. It means absolutely everyone can play them. It doesn't split up the player base, and that is a really good thing. That was, in my view, the best way of handling it. Now, I admit this probably isn't the easiest thing to implement, especially for consoles, simply because there are license agreements between Sony, Microsoft and the developers, which they have to obviously overcome. But I think if they could do this in future games, because also you've got games like Rainbow Six Siege, which are also going to include free DLC, and I think if more games did this, where if free DLC is automatically downloaded for player unless they tell it not to, then it means that it won't split up the community and everyone will get access to this content, because a lot of people might not even know that there's been new maps added. They might go back and be like, oh, there's more maps that I could have had if I'd paid for, but I haven't paid for them, and not realise actually no, they're free, because not everyone is on YouTube finding out what is coming out next and what's the latest thing going on with every game. And so it would be good for those people because they could get free stuff. Of course, you'd probably need to have a setting where you could disable this if you didn't want it. Firstly, for people that have maybe used up most of their hard drive, I'm getting pretty close with my PS4 at the moment, and also just for the people that maybe don't want it or aren't interested. But I think it would be good to actually do this because it would give more players access to this content, and I think it would bring more support to this practice, which is what we think most gamers ultimately want, because when you've got free DLC coming out rather than you having to pay for it all, it feels so much better, and you can feel like you can trust the developers a bit more, the fact that they are willing to give you this free stuff. They aren't completely just out for money. But anyway, I just want to hear what you guys think, because I think this would be a pretty useful idea if they managed to do this. But anyway, this has been the guy with no gamertag, and I'll see you on another video.
Right now.